Good ones, let me take you on a journey through history, a journey paved with trials, isolation, and ultimate triumph. Picture Moses, a man chosen by God to lead the Israelites out of bondage. Yet before his grand mission, he spent 40 years in the wilderness, alone tending sheep and grappling with self-doubt. Or think of Joseph, who went from being the favored son to a slave, then a prisoner, all before rising to the second most powerful position in Egypt. Even Jesus himself experienced rejection and solitude, spending 40 days fasting in the wilderness before embarking on his divine mission. What do all these stories have in common? They illustrate a profound truth. Being chosen often means walking a path of isolation, struggle, and yes, even financial hardship, but not without purpose. Today we'll explore why chosen ones often find themselves isolated and broke, peeling back the layers to uncover the spiritual and practical truths behind this phenomenon. By the end, you'll not only understand the reasons but also feel empowered to embrace your unique journey. 1. The weight of your calling. Being chosen is not a glamorous title. It's a sacred responsibility. Like Moses, who stood before the Red Sea with an entire nation relying on his faith, chosen ones are often called to tackle challenges that seem insurmountable. This mantle is heavy because it carries divine purpose, something not everyone can see, let alone bear. When you're chosen, your path is not defined by the opinions of others, but by the calling written into your soul. This isolation is part of the process. You see, a vision meant to change the world cannot be confined to the understanding of those content with the status quo. Moses faced ridicule and doubt, even from the very people he was trying to save. Why? Because chosen ones operate on a wavelength that the average person cannot tune into. Your calling is not about blending in. It's about standing out and shining light into darkness. But here's the beauty of it. The isolation refines you. It teaches you to rely not on the approval of others, but on the one who called you. It's in those quiet, lonely moments that clarity emerges and strength is forged. Like Moses, who received divine instruction on Mount Sinai, your solitude becomes a sacred space where purpose is revealed. So embrace the uniqueness of your journey. The mantle you carry is not a burden, but a testament to the greatness you're destined to achieve. Remember, the very fact that people don't understand your vision is proof that it's extraordinary. And so are you. 2. Spiritual warfare is real, sacred ones. Let's dive deep into the truth behind your isolation. This isn't random or coincidental. It's spiritual warfare. Think of it as a divine boot camp. Just like Job in the Bible, your trials are not mere accidents. They are calculated tests of faith. The enemy sees your potential long before you do. He knows that if you step into your God-given purpose, the ripple effect of your greatness will be unstoppable. That's why he throws distractions, disappointments, and despair your way, to keep you stuck, doubting, and questioning your worth. But here's the plot twist. Isolation is God's classroom. When you're cut off from the noise and the crowd, God works on you in ways he couldn't otherwise. Diamonds are formed under pressure, gold is refined in fire, and sacred ones are forged in solitude. This is where your character is shaped, your faith is tested, and your resilience is built. Think about David in the wilderness, Joseph in prison, or even Jesus fasting in the desert. Isolation wasn't their end game. It was their preparation. Every battle you face is a setup for a breakthrough. The moments when you feel the most abandoned are the moments God is closest. He's not punishing you. He's positioning you. When the enemy tries to break you, God is building you. This season of isolation isn't your downfall. It's your rise. Hold on, sacred ones, your story is being written, and the next chapter is pure victory. Keep your faith strong, because your greatness is on the horizon, and it's about to shake the world. 3. The price of authenticity. Chosen ones are often bearers of truth, integrity, and authenticity, qualities that shine brightly in a world often clouded by deception and mediocrity. These traits are both your strength and your challenge. You're not wired to go along with the crowd, especially when the crowd veers off the path of righteousness. But here's the thing, when you choose truth over convenience, you naturally disrupt the status quo. Think of Jesus. He lived a life of radical truth, never shying away from calling out hypocrisy or standing firm on principles. His unwavering integrity made him beloved by some but despised by others. The same holds true for you. As a chosen one, your refusal to conform to societal norms or compromise your values often unsettles those who are comfortable living in the gray areas of mediocrity. This journey is not without its cost. Your authenticity might cost you friendships, opportunities, or acceptance. People who prefer convenience over truth may find your presence unsettling because your light exposes their shadows. But remember this, it may cost you relationships, but it will never cost you your soul. Instead, your commitment to integrity becomes a beacon for those seeking something real. While you may lose people who cannot handle your authenticity, you will gain relationships rooted in mutual respect and shared values. So, sacred ones, embrace your uniqueness. It's a divine gift, not a burden. When you choose to stand for truth, you align with a higher calling, one that resonates far beyond human approval. The path may be narrow, but it leads to a life of purpose, fulfillment, and spiritual freedom. Stay true to your calling, for your authenticity is not just about you. It's about the light you bring into a world that desperately needs it. 4. God's training ground. Isolation is often misunderstood, but it is one of God's most transformative tools. Take David, for example. Before he ever wore a crown, he spent years tending sheep in the wilderness, a seemingly insignificant task. But in that solitude, God was shaping him into a leader. David learned courage by defending his flock from lions and bears, skill by perfecting his aim with a sling, and faith by singing psalms that connected him to God's heart. These quiet, lonely moments were the foundation for his destiny as a warrior king, and a man after God's own heart. Now think about your own life. If you're in a season of isolation, it's not because God has forgotten you. It's because he's preparing you. This is your training ground. Just as David's time in the wilderness wasn't wasted, neither is yours. Perhaps God is sharpening your gifts, strengthening your resilience, or teaching you to rely fully on him. It's in these moments of solitude that the noise of the world fades, and his voice becomes clear. Remember, isolation isn't punishment. It's preparation. The same God who walked with David in the wilderness is walking with you. This season is building the skills, character, and faith you'll need for your divine purpose. Embrace the process. Like gold refined by fire, you are being shaped into something extraordinary. One day you'll look back on this time and see that it was essential to your journey. So, sacred ones, take heart. God is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Trust him in the wilderness and let him transform you. Your destiny awaits. 5. Financial lack is a test of faith. Why are chosen ones often broke? Let's tackle this head on. It's not because you're lazy, talentless, or lack ambition. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Chosen ones are typically gifted with exceptional talents, deep insight, and the capacity for profound impact. So why the struggle? It's because God is training you in the most essential skill of all: reliance on him. Consider the story of the widow in 1 Kings 17. She had nothing but a handful of flour and a little oil, facing starvation with her son. But when the prophet Elijah asked her to prepare a meal for him first, she trusted in God's promise of provision. Miraculously, her jar of flour and jug of oil never ran dry. The lesson? Provision doesn't come from what you can see, but from what God can do. Financial struggles among the chosen ones serve as spiritual boot camps. God uses these periods of lack to refine you. You're learning stewardship, how to manage even the smallest resources wisely. You're building trust, understanding that divine timing is perfect. Most importantly, you're experiencing firsthand the truth of Philippians 4:19. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. This season of financial hardship is temporary. It's like being in training for a marathon, difficult but necessary. You're being prepared for greater blessings, equipped with the wisdom to handle abundance when it comes. So don't despise this phase. Trust God just like the widow, because when he shows up, and he will, you'll not just survive. You'll thrive knowing it was all his doing. Stay steadfast, sacred one. Your breakthrough is on its way. 6. The pain of being misunderstood. Being chosen comes with a unique set of challenges, and one of the hardest is being misunderstood. You may find people labeling you as arrogant, eccentric, or overly spiritual simply because they cannot grasp the depth of your purpose or the strength of your convictions. This misunderstanding isn't new. Even Jesus faced it. In John 15:18, he reminded his followers, if the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. His words echo through the ages, offering comfort to those who walk a similar path. When you're chosen, your perspective often feels miles apart from the crowd. You see things others overlook, question norms they accept, and pursue a purpose that transcends worldly ambitions. To those still bound by conventional thinking, your actions and beliefs can appear puzzling or even threatening. But this is not a reflection of your character. It's a testament to the divine calling on your life. Your isolation, however, isn't rejection, it's redirection. God sets you apart to refine you and prepare you for a greater mission. Just as a sculptor carves away excess stone to reveal a masterpiece, God may strip away relationships, opportunities, or comforts that no longer serve your purpose. This process is not easy, but it's necessary. Consider this. Every prophet, every apostle, and every chosen one in history faced misunderstanding and isolation. Yet, their trials became the stage for their triumphs. Your journey is no different. Embrace the silence, for it is in these moments that God speaks the loudest. Take heart, sacred ones. Being misunderstood is not a curse. It's a confirmation. Your life is a testament to something greater, and the world's inability to understand you only highlights the divine nature of your purpose. 7. Breaking generational curses, sacred ones. Your calling is profound. Breaking generational curses is no ordinary task. You're rewriting the story for your family and paving the way for future generations. This journey is both a divine assignment and a sacred responsibility, requiring courage, resilience, and unwavering faith. Breaking generational curses often begins with stepping out of comfort zones and confronting deeply ingrained patterns. These cycles, be it poverty, addiction, broken relationships, or fear, don't just dissolve. It takes a transformative spirit to disrupt what's been passed down for years. That's where you come in, chosen and equipped to rise above. But let's be real. Breaking these chains often means walking a lonely path. Like Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers and thrown into a pit, you may face isolation, rejection, or misunderstanding from those closest to you. Joseph's story teaches us that what others mean for harm, God uses for good. Even in the pit, you're being positioned for purpose. Your hardships aren't just obstacles. They're stepping stones. Joseph's journey didn't end in betrayal. It culminated in elevation. From the pit, he ascended to the palace, where he saved nations and reconciled with his family. His story is a testament to the power of faith and perseverance in the face of adversity. Sacred ones, your trials may feel overwhelming, but they are shaping you into a vessel of transformation. You're breaking chains not only for yourself, but for generations yet to come. Remember, your journey may start with pain, but with faith, it ends in victory. Keep pressing forward. You are the pioneer of a new legacy. 8. The hidden gift of solitude. While isolation can feel like an overwhelming curse, it's actually a hidden gift designed to transform you. Think about it. When you're alone, distractions fade, and the noise of the world quiets down. This is where clarity emerges. In the stillness, you can hear the whispers of purpose that are often drowned out by the chaos of daily life. Even Jesus, the epitome of connection and compassion, frequently sought solitude. The Gospels reveal how he withdrew to lonely places to pray, recharge, and commune with the Father. He didn't see isolation as abandonment, but as an opportunity for alignment. In these moments, he gained the strength to fulfill his divine mission. Sacred ones, your solitude is not a punishment, but preparation. It's a sacred space where God speaks directly to your heart. In the silence, you'll discover insights you couldn't access in the busyness of life. You'll also find your purpose being refined, shaped by divine wisdom rather than worldly opinions. Use this time wisely. Pray, meditate, reflect, and recharge. Solitude is where you shed the weight of expectations and realign with who you were created. It's in these quiet moments that you'll hear God's voice with startling clarity, guiding you toward your next step. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure, but cut and polished in solitude. Your isolation is polishing you into a radiant vessel for your purpose. So embrace the quiet. It's in this sacred stillness that you'll find not only yourself, but also a deeper, unshakable connection with God. What feels like a barren wilderness is actually fertile ground for growth, clarity, and divine transformation. 9. Building unshakable faith. When life strips away comfort and resources, leaving you isolated and broke, it's easy to feel abandoned. But sacred ones, this is often when God does his most profound work in your life. In moments like these, you're forced to rely on him entirely. You're no longer leaning on your own understanding or the support systems you once had. Instead, your focus shifts to the one who never changes, never fails, and never leaves you. This is where unshakable faith is born. Hebrews 11:1 beautifully captures this journey. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. It reminds us that faith isn't about what's visible. It's about trusting God's promises even when everything around us suggests otherwise. When you have nothing else, you realize God is everything you need. And in that realization, your faith becomes stronger, more resilient, and unyielding. This season of hardship is not a punishment. It's preparation. God is fortifying your spirit for the challenges ahead. Much like gold refined by fire, your faith is being purified, shaped, and strengthened. Every unanswered question, every sleepless night, and every desperate prayer is molding you into someone unshakable. Imagine David facing Goliath after years of tending sheep in isolation. His faith, forged in solitude and reliance on God, gave him the courage to stand against a giant. Your current struggles may feel overwhelming, but they are setting the stage for your triumph. So, sacred ones, don't give up. The challenges you're facing are temporary, but the faith being built within you is eternal. Trust that God's plan is unfolding perfectly, even when you can't see it. Hold on, your breakthrough is closer than you think. 10. The power of resilience. Let's dive into the power of resilience. It's a quality that isn't just about bouncing back, it's about growing stronger through each trial. Every challenge, every setback, and even the lonely moments are shaping you into a warrior. Think about the eagle, one of the most resilient creatures in nature. While other birds flock together, the eagle flies alone, soaring higher than any other bird. Its solitary journey builds the strength to glide effortlessly through storms. Similarly, your moments of solitude, struggle, and adversity are not in vain. They are preparing you for greatness. Resilience is more than just endurance. The strength you gain through overcoming hardships isn't just physical or mental. It's spiritual. You learn to rely not on your own power alone, but on divine strength that fuels you from within. Sacred ones, every obstacle you face is an opportunity to sharpen your inner resolve, just like a sword being forged in fire. It's the pressure of the forge that makes the steel unbreakable, and it's through trials that you are refined into someone unshakable. Being resilient doesn't mean you won't experience pain, doubt, or fear. It means you will rise despite them. It means that no matter how heavy the storm, you are built to rise higher. You become more than just a survivor. You become a beacon of strength, a living testament to what's possible when you choose to stand strong in the face of adversity. So, sacred ones, embrace your journey. Your resilience is not just surviving. It's your superpower, preparing you to soar above all that seeks to hold you down. Keep flying higher. Sacred ones, your isolation and struggles are not the end of your story. They're the foundation of your greatness. Remember, you are chosen, not forsaken. Embrace your journey and know that God is with you every step of the way. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe to join our community of sacred ones. Let's walk this journey together and live impactful lives. Having said this, may your path be filled with purpose and your heart with peace. Until next time, stay blessed.